Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for the Making Progress channel, video number 105. Hey Scott, we're not canceled yet.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Who knew? How to succeed with AI in the coming years. This is more of a practical video, so get your scribble pad out and take some notes, because a lot of folks have this top of mind, and I think I have some decent ideas to help you chart a course for success. Why is this a topic? Let me explain. Lots of folks think that AI is overhyped. They might be right. I happen to think these folks are charitably, are about as correct as internet skeptics in 1995. Woefully out of touch. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Still, other folks think that AI is going to spell doom. Though most of their fears, I think in my view, disperse under close scrutiny, and I think it's very unlikely that AI will cause doom. Lots of other folks, not a ton, but a growing number, think that AI is going to be basically paradise in a bottle. Uncork, spill, and wonderful things happen. I think this is the case. I'm included in this category of people. Though I don't think this is going to be magical in the literal sense that magic isn't real, and it's not going to be without its speed bumps and some time to realize the mega benefits. It's not like right now the AI revolution is like making all these crazy, wonderful things happen at this very moment. Look around, the world looks damn near the same. ChatGPT is real. AI medicine research is real. We got some cool stuff in media, but nothing's really kind of happened yet. It's going to take a little while, and it's going to be a bumpy ride. Not bumpy in the sense of catastrophic stuff, but bumpy in the sense of like a couple months here and there to look like AI is not progressing, and then it'll make big leaps. Paradise, I think, is inevitable, or very, very likely rather, but it's not going to be like one straight line up. Another group of folks has a very different concern: getting left behind in the AI race. Let's see how they see it, because they have a really good point, which I'm going to take this whole rest of this video to address. Here's how these folks see it. Frontier Labs, Meta, OpenAI, Anthropic, who makes Claude, Google, etc. XAI, who makes Grok, Elon's company. These labs provide the core AI, the main psychotic intelligence. They're going to be trillionaires, all these people, which is like not, Scott, do you doubt that like Mark Zuckerberg is headed to being a trillionaire, and him and Elon?
Likely.
Come on.
Seems likely.
Yeah.
Elon especially.
Bro. So, okay, those people are fine. They're going to be great with AI. Brilliant tech entrepreneurs, very famous influencers, and or folks with capital grade wealth, millions of dollars, who can buy machines and factory space and all this other stuff, will almost certainly, according to these very same people, by the way, harness AI to produce next level goods and services, greatly increasing their own wealth. That's a thing for sure. What do these people plan on doing with their wealth? How are they going to leverage AI? For example, AI generated movies. If you already own a movie studio and now you work with AI generation plus human integrated actors, I mean, holy shit, your capital expenses just fell by a factor of 10 from $100 million a movie to $10 million a movie. But Scott, you and I aren't exactly going to be making a $10 million movie anytime soon, right? So like, that ain't us. They're going to do great. Okay. That's an example. Another one is AR and VR video games. Guys, it's almost inevitable that video games, just a few years from now, you'll be able to put your AR, VR glasses on, get your fake gun out, and play shoot 'em up games with total pretend, not actually there, military people or zombies in your own backyard, neighborhood, within your house. Inevitable. Guys who make games like that, guys and gals who code in games like that, remember, they have access to a company that makes video games and codes and uploads to the App Store. They're going to make a fucking killing for sure. So we're not worried about them either. People who have enough capital, $5-10 million lying around, to buy factory space and to buy robots in the soon-to-be crazy robot industrial-powered future, they are going to use robots to produce end-to-end clothing, fitness machines, snacks, fence posts, anything you can think of is going to be made by robots. The people that have enough capital to buy a fuckload of robots, they aren't going to be fined. They are going to be frivolously wealthy and skyrocketing in wealth. No worries about those people. But here's the crux that I'm going to discuss in this video. What the hell are you supposed to do if you're not working at Google, you don't have 1 trillion followers, You don't have a tech startup or tech startup friends, and you don't have $1 zillion to buy robot factory space in 2029. Do you just get outcompeted by cloud AI and robotics? Because cloud AI and robotics is going to be doing damn near a lot of shit normal career people do real soon, 5 years or something like that. And is your destiny to now roam the streets, cyberpunk 2077 style, Night City, addicted to neo-meth? Hey, Scott, have you ever tried meth?
Dude, it sounds, well, okay.
Neo-meth
sounds great. I'll just say that.
What were you going to say? What does it sound like?
Neo-meth sounds awesome.
Doesn't it sound cool? But like many things with meth in the name that sound cool, it's a little bit dystopian, I guess we could say. I think that's probably not going to happen. I'm not saying neo-meth's not going to happen. If you have some neo-meth, you know where to find me. I'm saying it's not going to be upper crust people, rich getting richer and everyone else just suffering like crazy. I think a lot of people are going to get wealthy. The average person, the median person, the way below average person, everyone's getting way, way wealthier during this crazy AI revolution with robotics and stuff. And I have multiple reasons. First, cloud AI, having super intelligence in the cloud with GPT-5, we're damn near there, with GPT-7 or whatever equivalent systems. Like, it's just going to be smarter than people. It is going to be able to tell you what to do and do a ton of stuff for you online. These systems will delimit white collar work and create unreal demand for active physical work that's now going to be the massive limiting factor. Because check this out. I have made videos on this channel about this before. AI is going to get super intelligent in computing clusters inside of data centers years before we'll have enough robots for the AI to do its AI business with robotics. Years before, if not like a decade before, because making that many physical robots in the world is hard work. It is going to be done, but it's going to take a while. And so we're going to have AI that's the equivalent of an actual CEO on your phone or in your computer, like in 2 years. But in 2 years, there's going to be like 1/10 of the robots that we need for daily tasks, never mind industrial tasks out in the world. So what's going to happen is, because the people running businesses, people are going to be AI entities now, and they're going to be way better CEOs than human CEOs. They're going to be like, hey, human, what are you up to? Like, well, I'm doing digital work, sir, on my computer. They're like, we're good. We got that. Actually, we're 10 times better than you at all digital work. But you have got hands, don't you? And you can walk around like, Well, there are every single job that we need physical things done in the world left over. And now, because we're so good at running digital space, the amount of help we can do on the digital side is this. And the amount of physical side is like, we need way more help. So a lot of people who currently do like mindless, boring data entry or, jobs like fucking customer support. Can you imagine people like, oh no, customer support jobs, AI is going to take them. Do you want to sit at a data center for 8 hours a day talking to insane people? I don't know. There's construction jobs, community organization jobs, cleaning up the environment jobs. They're going to be skyrocketing because like robots is just not enough to do them. So because AI is going to be so powerful in the cloud, it's going to start hiring a fuckload of people to do real work. So that's going to mop up almost everything as far as labor demand goes, or rather labor supply goes. And then we're just not going to have this big joblessness thing, in my estimate, that people think we're going to have. There's going to be transition phases, but eventually everyone's just going to find tons of work in the physical space. Here's another thing. Innovations from AI into products and services will make your standard of living unreal high and climbing all the time. So for whatever work you're doing, the costs of goods and services is going to fall tremendously related to how much you get paid. This has already been the case for all of human history, but it's going to be on a crazy exponential. So like you're going to be like, food is going to be the equivalent for whatever we're making of like a cheeseburger. Instead of being $5 is going to be like $1 because robots make it and the input costs are tiny. So you're going to be like, I'm not making as much money or as much more money than I did 5 years ago, but like everything's way fucking cheaper. Think about how much a cell phone costs compared to how much that technology would have cost in 1995. It would have been like, I don't know, like $10 billion to get an iPhone back then, even though we didn't even have the tech. But if we did, it would be preposterously expensive. Nowadays, an iPhone, fuck man, the second to last model is like $500 or $200 or whatever. Easy, no problem. So that's going to make any amount of money you make just way easier because the standard of living is going to go up. So that's going to be good. Here's another one. Platforms like AR and VR, especially the intersection of augmented reality, virtual reality, and social media is going to enable vast new careers. Think of how many people today are employed in social media. How many of those people were employed in social media in the early 2000s? Do you guys know what the answer to that question is? It's zero. There was no social media as understood today in the early 2000s. Scott, can you do me a super quick Google, please?
Yes, sir.
How many Americans are employed in social media careers today?
In the U.S., 1 million.
1 million
In
people.
2004.
In 2004?
Yes. With over 1.5 million full-time digital creators in the U.S. as of early 2025.
Okay. What about people who assist them, like working in social media?
The 2024 is the last data point that I'm seeing.
But that's full-time creators or their assistants as well?
Employed in the U.S. social networking site industry. That's what it's called exactly.
But I think those are just people that actually work for the companies that do social media. Okay, ask it another question real quick, Scott. Sorry, just one more question. How many people have heavily social media reliant or related careers today?
You can't really get specific.
Fuck.
In the millions.
Millions.
Yes, millions.
Millions of people today work heavily reliant on social media. They basically have careers that without social media would not be their careers. AR, and remember, social media, and I mean all of social media, is through fucking screens. TV screen, computer screen. Most of it actually is through your teeny little iPhone screen. When you have social media streamed into your eyes from your glasses and integrated in the world around you, the number of people that are going to be present and have careers related to that is going to be charitably in the tens of millions. So that's going to be a huge new side of industry that simply did not exist. Remember, 98% of Americans in the 1800s were involved directly in farming. Now it's like 2% of Americans. Are 96% of Americans starving and out of work? Not even close. They work every single industry since then was born anew. And AI is going to give birth to tons of industries. One of them is, of course, massively augmented social media. But there is another reason. There is another reason why there is no cause for concern. And I'll focus on this reason here in this video. So get ready for some awesome recommendations. Yeah, I don't know if they're awesome. They're my best guess. Here's the reason. You can empower yourself with AI to a degree that was considered magic years ago. And this is not wishful thinking. Imagine telling an engineer in the 1960s that in the year 2020, he was going to have a device in his pocket that was his to use anytime he wanted that had orders of magnitude more compute than every supercomputer in the 1960s in the world combined. He would have laughed at you. And in 2020, that's exactly what's happening. It's not like, Scott, is it true to say that only the wealthy have access to compute and intelligence today?
No.
What? Sam Altman uses the same shit we do, bro. Like it's truer to say that the wealthy don't even have an advantage in compute and intelligence. So the big thing with AI isn't replacement or obsolescence. It's empowerment. So here is my idea of how to empower yourself in the coming AI wave. How many points do I have about this? 4 total big points with lots of subpoints and examples. Here we go. How to empower yourself in the coming AI wave. Number 1, pick a problem you really give a shit about that seemingly damn near nobody else does. And no one or very few people are trying to solve or have abandoned these problems, and many others are affected by it and potentially asking, what kind of shit would people pay for en masse? Many people would pay for if the average real income per capita doubled. If people were twice as wealthy in real terms, which is basically what happened since the 1980s to now, and is going to happen in another 5 or 10 years again, what kind of shit would people pay for? And there's one hack, and I bet you Scott's going to be nodding in agreement on this one. Rich people pay for shit you would never think to pay for. Scott?
That's true.
It's true. Scott's lived in New York City. He's seen how the other side lives. Here are some examples of what you could do that is a potential unreal business proposition for these next 5 years coming up. Number one, small farm plot soil enhancement. If you specialize in enhancing soil on small plot farms, you can yield 2 times the benefit of growth for people's small plot farms. Do you guys know what white people do when they get rich enough? They start farming with small plots. Scott, do you know that that's a thing?
I did not know that was a thing.
Bro, Al and his wife do that now. They're like raising animals and shit. White people, bro. But like, this is not an isolated case. Tons of people want their own little, I want to grow my grapes and I want carrots and they're so good. That's a thing. And that's point A. Point B, a different path, very related, is running or organizing a small farm to sell local produce to stores. White people cannot get enough local produce. I'm going to make up the Dr. Mike's white people farm equation. However much supply of local, organic, ethically sourced produce you put on the market, rich white people will consume. If they run out of calories per day to eat, Scott, they'll just buy the surplus on sheer guilt.
Yeah, true.
Have you ever been to the 14th Street in New York, the Union Square, like weekend fucking organic market?
I sure have.
A lot of Republicans there, huh?
Yeah.
Leftists, you guys are great. You guys, people sell out all the time. Scott, there's jars of honey there for like $16.
It's so expensive. It's insane.
It's insane. Have you ever seen those people not sell out? I got there late once. There was nothing left. There's just people packing up. I was like, oh my fucking God. Rich ass white people bought all the fucking organic honey that they could. This is a thing. 100% a thing. And like, AI's not going to be doing this anytime soon. You guys, we don't have enough robots to farm yet. That's crazy. That won't be here for years and years and years. Here's another one. If you make custom-made clothing that is too unique, too racy, or too intricate for big corporations to bother with and sell, you can make a ton of money, like personalized Etsy type of thing. Scott, you know there's people on Etsy making like crazy money doing like, I make clothes for toddlers.
Yeah, they're cashing in.
Here's $400 for a toddler bib, and people are like, I love it. And remember, when everyone's getting richer, all of a sudden $400 for a toddler bib is like some shit people bought. Here's another thing. This one is huge, and it's not for everyone, but it is massive. And I'll actually say something I don't have in the notes here. If you look at where there are shortages in industries and provision of goods and services, that's where you can attack. The shortage, and people talk about this all the time, and it's true. The childcare shortage in the United States is massive. Massive. Childcare is way too expensive and way too difficult to track down. And robots won't be doing direct, unsupervised childcare for a little bit, especially on industry scales. Like everyone having a robot at home to take care of their children 24/7 when they're not around is like, fuck, man, that's probably like 7 or 10 years away. Sure as shit not happening in 2028, I'll tell you that. We just can't make robots fast enough, even if humans trust them, which they won't right away. So what you can do is get in the business of drawing up childcare co-ops and babysitting co-ops. You can run the most highly rated babysitting network in your area. Human vetted babysitters that otherwise no human would find in their own social network. Scott, if you have kids, would you just let some random person off Instagram who replied to a wanted ad like babysit your children through the night?
No.
You fucking kidding me?
Screenings and tests and
bro,
aptitude situations.
Bro, what if you learned that there was a local company of trusted humans in your neighborhood that had vetted babysitters for you pre-selected and were putting legally their backstop behind this, and you read reviews, you met with them, and they hooked you up with babysitters in your area? Wouldn't that assuage you a little bit?
Yeah, that's pretty enticing.
That's huge. Scott, we're going to get into that area. Mike and Scott get into babysitting. They're like, what do you know about it? We're like, nothing. Children need food and I think water, but they can go a while without food. We're not in this business. That's huge, you guys. That is huge. You can do the same thing for elder care, by the way, anytime you want. Here's another one. This one's massive. Pet care, grooming, sitting, training, Hosting dog hangouts. Scott, we are at the point of wealth in modern society where hosting dog parties is a real business.
I believe it.
I believe it too. And it's crazy to say, Scott, isn't it crazy that we're saying we believe it? Can you imagine high school you being told that there's a business in the future where people host dog parties and be like, okay, so what's like a Far Side comic? That's a joke, right? Like, no. Be like, okay, so humans go to these parties? Like, no. Here's what happens. Someone in the neighborhood runs a dog party thing where in their house, they pick up all the neighbors' dogs and the neighbors pay like $100 and they take your dog to their house where there's 10 other dogs and they just have fun playing in the backyard. They get snacks. And then 4 hours later, the person drops them off. And you're like, what? But like, so I'm away from home, right? It's a dog sitting service. Like, no. You're at home. You just want your dog to interact with other dogs and it's lonely. What? That's a real thing. And guys, remember, rich people love this kind of shit. It is a fucking bottomless money pile, this business. All of this stuff, grooming, training, hosting dog hangouts, proactive exercise routines. Scott, dog personal training is inevitable.
Jack dog, bro.
People love that. It's good for your dog too. Here's another one. This one's really easy. Life coaching. You can help a lot of people with mentorship just by being human, having lots of experiences, being smart, being kind, being calm, and mentoring other humans. Can AI mentor you? Yeah, sure, shit can, but AI's never lived in the real world, so it's got something there that is missing. You can do human-to-human mentoring is a big deal. And remember, mentoring used to only be for rich people. Now it's for everyone, and you can do it. Here's another super easy one if you guys are following me for my fitness content, which a lot of you I'm sure have seen. Mobile personal training. You get your car, you think through this, very well thought out dumbbell and mini barbell setup. You take a mini barbell with adjustable weights, throw in your trunk, take mini adjustable dumbbells, throw them in your trunk, maybe one little unfolding bench, throw it in your trunk. All of this fits in the trunk of a regular car. And you drive to other people's houses in the neighborhood or in the surrounding communities. Obviously, social media is going to help you find friends and stuff like that to do this with. And you train them. I already know people that do this. This is ultra high ticket. Scott, how much money would upper middle class people pay if you showed up to their house, trained them, and left?
They pay a lot. Actually, we know that.
We know they pay a lot.
We know they pay a lot.
Hundreds of dollars an hour people will pay. Sure as shit, $100 an hour is cheap as fuck in this. And remember, your expenses are a one-time purchase of fucking Amazon lifting equipment that costs $200 maybe in total, and gas money. And if you drive a Tesla, not even gas money. The shit is crazy, you guys. And listen, when will robots come to your home and train you? I don't know, in 2035 or something? Way off in the distance. Of all of the things we have to have robots do for us that massively expand our societal wealth, driving to your house and training you, or training you in your house at all, is not even on the list. Here's another thing. Apple or OpenAI or Figure Robotics or any of these companies are going to have tons of robots at scale. How likely are they to let the robot spot you and load for you and tell you how to exercise and accept liability for your injury? At some point, they'll let them do that. Shit is not happening overnight. And a lot of people won't want to train with a robot because they'll want to be like, well, it doesn't have the experience of getting jacked or lean. It doesn't know when I shift my knees this way or that way that my knees hurt. A real human would know that because they've done it before. And so personal training is going to be dead in like 10 years or something, but not in 5. And this is a huge lucrative opportunity that people just aren't taking because there's not enough people to do this. But it could be you. So when people say, oh my God, AI is taking all these white collar jobs, great. Fuck them. You don't need that shit. You can go do these other jobs. Another one really quick. Macro-friendly, reheatable meals in local stores that are filling, tasty, healthy, and get refilled in the store every day or two. Here's what people want. Here's what wealthy people want. And there's more wealthy people all the time. How wealthy, however you define it. Top 50% of wealth. They want more and more fresh, healthy, tasty, local food. And if they can go to their local store and see that Scott the Video Guy Farms has a reheatable, microwavable thing that has some chicken, some pasta, and some veggies, and everything was made that morning in Scott the Video Guy's kitchen, and it's ethnically whatever the fuck, organic, whatever bullshit you want to put on there that white people love. No offense, all jokes, but you guys know what I'm saying, that Whole Foods type of shit, that vibe. Meals like that, you can charge $15, $20, $25 per meal. Someone eats 2 of those a day. They don't have to cook anymore. And someone's like, oh, like, how's your health? You're eating out a lot, fast food? They're like, no, I get healthy, fresh meals. I just throw them in the microwave. They were made either that morning or the day before. Industry that ships meals around the countries, the big meal service providers, cannot compete with you by definition because they can't get their shit on time. It's not local. By definition, there's types of, Scott, how much food gets, what fraction of foods that are tasty cannot be frozen and reheated because it destroys them?
Quite a few.
Quite a few.
Mind, yeah.
So if you have food at a grocery store that was made within the 20-mile area earlier that morning or the day before, that's like a category level of taste, right? Like,
for me, it is. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Sure. I don't know about you.
Well, I don't have a sense of taste, so what do I know? But no, like, that's a real serious thing. And so small batch meal service delivered to the grocery store or delivered for busy families. Imagine that you have 20 people in your local community that are pretty wealthy to whom you bring meals twice a week that you make batch cooked meals for their whole family so that they don't have to cook anymore. They get amazing homemade meals that don't even have to be frozen, refrigerated or microwave, totally different standard locally from you. Custom macros too, if they want. Custom meal selection. You do that. You have 20 clients. You make, I don't know, $500 a week off each client. That's a business. Oh, by the way, the amount of money you can charge versus your raw food costs is like 10x different. Like, chicken breast does not cost much at the store, but white people will pay a fuckload for chicken breast that you bring them with pasta and broccoli all ready to go for their meals for the day. Wealthy people want organic, all that shit. They want all that food. They want it healthy. They want it local. But what do they think? They're not going to make it themselves. Scott, do you think like tech people like cook their own food for hours at a time? Like,
No.
They don't even go home. They're at the fucking factory all day long. They 100% will pay for this kind of stuff. These are crazy skyrocketing industries that, again, robots will not be touching anytime soon. And AI in the cloud can't possibly do. Guys, GPT-5, real smart, right? Can it cook you meals? It can't do anything in the real world yet. And real world robotics, you guys are still a bit of a ways off. But don't worry, we'll tie that part in together. Here's the next point. Think of any tasks that home robots in the future could do and start offering those services ASAP with yourself and other humans in your cooperative circle, because robots will take longer to scale than most people think. If you run the numbers, and I've done this in a previous video, and you guys, I'm like the ultimate AI optimist. We're not going to have enough robots for everyone to have a robot in the home charitably. I mean, 2028 is like a pipe dream. 2030, maybe. Really, like early to mid 2030s is still the optimistic view for getting lots of robots around to do stuff. That gives you like almost a decade to do all those jobs. And here's another thing, last one for this category. There is, I'll say, an epidemic of loneliness and loss of community. Social media made this incredible leap to give everyone a degree of connection. But that degree of connection is very small. Interacting with people through a screen, barely interacting with humans at all, is not the same thing remotely as interacting with them in real life. And there is no real life interaction we're getting now. COVID really punched us in the balls for this one. And in many cases, we didn't recover. Scott, have you heard the stat that way fewer people are drinking nowadays?
I have heard that.
How the fuck are you supposed to meet people if it's not through alcohol?
I actually don't know.
No one from the 90s has got an answer to that question.
I don't talk to anyone unless I'm 3 drinks deep.
Exactly. And to way too many people if you're 3 drinks deep.
Yeah.
It's like step function, no one, everyone, shut up, Scott.
No happy medium ever.
Yeah, 100%. So the thing is, this is something that I'm not in this industry. So I it's one of these, like if I had clones of myself, they'd be doing all this other work. A community center, local, that throws parties for people. Doesn't matter who. People come in and they get a party. All the food is paid for. All the drinks are there. Security, music, vibes provided. You get wealthy enough, you can even have people who are paid to party with you. They just like set the tone. This is what a cruise ship is, except locally to communities, down to arranging for Ubers and Lyfts and robo-taxis to drive you to the place and drive you home. Scott, can you imagine a fucking party business like that? Like, there's something there, bro. Like, there's just not enough people to do that sort of thing. But That's coming. That's coming. And robots can do some of that stuff, but there needs to be a human presence for it. All of these jobs that I just talked about are basically almost completely unfilled and are going to be experiencing radical demand growth over the years. This is where you can make your play. Now, in jobs like this and many others, you don't have to do it on your own. Here's why. You can use AI to deeply research how to make inroads to solving those problems and doing those jobs, especially a combination of what can I do very early and how can that be very lucrative. You can just talk to ChatGPT 5 right now, give them this whole list of shit I just gave you and be like, hey, in my local community, here's where I live. How would I go about doing any one of these things? Which one do you think is really top tier? It's just going to start talking and never stop. So your help in how to run and how to start these businesses, your job is the real world part. AI is already good enough to get you well on your way in the whole thing of how to think through the problem. You can also use AI to help you connect to folks that are also working on that problem. There are strength in numbers. You can work with other humans on businesses. It just doesn't have to be just yourself. Because remember, AI is taking people's jobs. That means there's more people to help you do your new shit. Humans are highly valuable production machines. They are not going out of style. AI is going to take a fuckload of jobs away from us, and then we're going to be doing other jobs like these. Some of these folks might have money, and they might have companies, and you might be really, really well allied with them, but you come to them and you're like, hey, I'm already doing this dog sitting business, but I want to go to that next level. And they're like, yo, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Let me see your business. Oh my God, this is already successful. You already have a network? Dude, let's put money into this thing. Let's get more locations, do more dogs. It's going to be amazing. Next point. Once you're grooving and making money in your business, of many of the businesses I talked about or something else, there's like 1,000 ideas that I haven't come up with that you guys will, that you'll do great at. Once you're grooving and making money, continue to work with AI to improve services and to reduce costs, continue to be more competitive, make more money, as well as a huge important thing, and I can't leave you guys without saying this, as well as preparing for the robotics transition that is inevitable. Because robots eventually, in the late 2020s, early to mid 2030s, and for sure late 2030s, just fields of them will be incoming. They'll be way cheap, way capable, like cell phones are today. And everyone's going to have like multiple robots to their name. Because they're going to come in and help with all these jobs, being ready to buy fleets of robots to augment human labor is a huge upcoming flex. And here's the big differentiator. If you're already working in the industry, and you know it front to back. And by the industry, I don't mean the robotics industry. I mean whatever industry of the above examples or anything else that you want to do, like childcare or like pet sitting or like running your own small organic farm or like a meal prep service. Whatever it is you're doing, you're already in the industry. You know that industry front to back if you've been doing it for a few years. You, at that point, can start buying or renting robots and get way, way ahead. Scott, imagine that you have your own little kitchen and you make amazing, organic, ready-to-eat food. And organic, I do not endorse organic. White people love it, so I'm just saying organic.
Just to clarify.
I mean that literally. Yeah, supply and demand, you know what I'm saying? They want the shit. It's not bad for you, so here you go. You want to pay $16 a meal. Sweet. If you already have that business and now you can afford to rent your first very capable 2029 humanoid robot, you can double your production because he preheats the ovens, he sorts out the meals for you, you do the cooking, he helps sort it out, he buys the groceries. And then you have 2 robots, and then you have 3. And all of a sudden, you can take the price of food and reduce it. You can take the volume and variety of food and increase it. You can have way more customers in your local area. And remember, there's no competition because local means people from other cities, other states, multinationals, they're not competing with you because local food has to be local to be good. It's fresh. People trust you, that whole thing. You can't say local on your fucking, the brand name on the face of the food unless you're willing to lie about it if you're not actually local. And so when you're local by yourself, maybe you make $80,000 a year making foods for rich ass people in your neighborhood. You get a fleet of 5 robots. Now you make $250,000 a year net because the robots are $10,000 a year and that's all they cost. And then all that added together, plus your raw intake is exponentially higher because the robots make way more food at higher quality. You can start reducing prices, increasing value. You have a real business. So it's not just, hey guys, go into these businesses because robots won't compete with you. They will compete with you when they come in 5-7 years from now. But when they do, if you're already there, you're so ahead because you could just be like, oh, I'm just going to rent or buy these robots, and I already have processes. I can teach them on the spot. We already have a business. I'm just enhancing. It's like if you were a personal trainer before social media, once social media came, you just were like, oh shit, I'm going to leverage social media, and then boom, you're off. If you got there and you weren't a personal trainer and social media was already a thing, you'd have to train yourself to be a personal trainer first, really find out how that works in real life, get good at it, which takes years, and then you're ready for social media to leverage your shit. Just do that first part now, and you're well on your way. Here's the big revelation. With all of big corporate, big tech, big AI, we can only solve a small fraction of all the problems that we have. All of those people combined, XAI, OpenAI, all those people are going to touch a small fraction of problem. Now, they're going to kibosh huge problems, but you guys know how many problems there are. And supply and demand, the reason markets exist is because problems exist. And here's the thing. Most of these frontier organizations will focus on big problems. Mark Zuckerberg is trying to cure all diseases or provide compute and social media for the entire world, not making sure your neighbor's golden retriever gets 2 exfoliating baths per week. Mark's not working on that problem, you guys. He's not even working on that problem. No one's coming to help except you. So if you're not teamed up or working for big corps and big AI and big biotech or whatever, no sweat. You can work on smaller problems and not only profit majorly via AI empowerment, but also make the world a much better place because people want to pay for these things and their lives will be better when they get them from you and your friends, enhancing through AI, not competing with AI. Because the only way you get left behind with AI and robotics is not being a part of the problem-solving, tech-empowered crew. And we're not running out of problems. When we start running out of problems, we'll be in fucking paradise, literally the definition of. How, you might ask, do you keep your cool level-headedness to plan intelligently for these entrepreneurial times? You might use the Waking Up app from Sam Harris, which I use to do my daily meditative practice most days. Keeps me level-headed, keeps me calm, and allows me to be open-minded and do my best job at work. So until robots replace us all and we're all like, bzz, bzz, burr, 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 which will be fun. Check out the Waking Up app. Link in the description. I hope you guys find this video helpful. And hey, honestly, let's work together on something. In the comments for this video, share some ideas you have if you're not too greedy and you don't want people to take your ideas about what people can do with AI and robotic enhancement that just AI or just robots just can't yet do or maybe will never do by themselves. Let me know, and I'll see you guys next time.
I have an idea to add, Mike.
Yes, Scott, we'll keep this recording. Yes, what do you want?
So what the rich need, we know an acquaintance in New York that had a Velociraptor delivered for his penthouse apartment. And he needed to fly in a specialist to put the raptor fossil together for him in his living room. So the people that don't want their jobs taken by AI could become a Velociraptor assembly specialist to the rich.
So he had a Velociraptor skeleton disassembled wherever it was, reassembled in his home.
Yes.
That's so fucking sweet. A very niche specialty. But hey, Scott, I bet that person made a lot of money.
I bet they did.
You can negotiate any terms you want. Because the guy's like, no, this is too much. And the Velociraptor expert's like, all right, you find someone else to assemble it. He's like, God damn it. It's not like Legos, huh, Scott? It doesn't come with an assembly manual.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
How to put your
if I knew, I'd be doing that for a living.
Yeah, for sure. Scott, can you imagine it's like Legos, except it's like, here's piece number 345C, and you look at it, it's like a vertebrae. You look at the 16 other vertebrae that look identical. You're like, fuck this, man. I don't know what I'm doing. Never in a million years am I assembling dinosaur bones, but you guys can be rich if you do it. Steal Scott's idea, and we'll see you next time.